Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez, and this is the Rick Sanchez podcast. You can go find it, by the way, the complete version on Apple or Spotify. But I wanted to give you a taste of something I think is really important, something that no one is going to talk about unless maybe you come here and maybe a few other places. And that is the stereotyping of Hollywood when it comes specifically to Latinos. And I'm going to give you some numbers here. You ready? Okay. So every year, Hollywood casts about 47,000 roles, right? In general. I'm not talking about extras and stuff. I'm talking about, real gigs in Hollywood, small parts, medium parts, leading role parts, etc. Of those, right? Of all of those, the ones that go to Latinos, remember, Latinos are 50% of the population of the area around Hollywood and Los Angeles? They're 20% of the population of the United States. So how many roles does Hollywood give to Latinos? 4% or less in general. 4% or less in general. Think about that. Coño. Here's another one for you. If you go leading roles, not just gigs, but the good gigs, right? Main parts in movies, for example, and series work. Latinos get 3% of those. Again, 20% of the population, 3% of the roles in Hollywood. Okay, and that's not good, but you know what? There's something that I think is even worse, and here's what it is. Of those roles, when we finally cast a Latino in Hollywood and they get a gig in some movie or something, what do you think they're usually characterized at? What do you think? You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. 25% of the time, according to the study done at Annenberg, USC, the 25% of the time Latinos are cast as criminals. Criminales, criminals. Think about that. 25% of the times that Hollywood casts a Latino, they cast them as a criminal. Here's another one for you. How often do you think Hollywood casts Latinos as poor people, unsuccessful people? 17% of the times when Latinos are cast in Hollywood, they're assigned the role of someone who's poor. I'm sorry to say it, but essentially losers, right? So here is Hollywood never casting Latinos, and when they do cast them, they cast them as they're either poor, they're losers, or they're criminals. That's a problem. And then you wonder, why does America think the way they do of Latinos? Maybe that even has something to do with these immigration conversations we see on all the right-wing channels. Of course, we don't want those people to come into the country. They're all losers and criminals, so says Hollywood. So think about the genesis of this conversation. We will on this podcast. It's going to be on Spotify, and it's going to be on Apple. And, well, hell, listen, wherever you get your podcasts, please check it out. This stuff is important. This is the Rick Sanchez Latitude. And, yeah, I guess I'm Rick Sanchez. Dale.